More bad news for the Dallas Mavericks. Looks like they're going to be without another player for an extended period of time. Can this team catch a break? Well, they may, just because now it's looking like somebody, the big guy, Anthony Davis, is about to return. And Donnie, surprise, surprise, it's just in time to meet the Lakers coming up on Friday. We're going to dive into both those topics. I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Please make sure you do subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 40,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. If you guys could do us a favor, double check right now and see if you're subscribed. If the answer is no, hit that subscribe button and help us get there. Donnie, the Lakers, they've caught a break a number of times this season with players not being available, players not returning to play. Yeah, it seems like every year it's a thing, to the point where JJ Redick last year even mentioned that the team internally investigated to see if there was truth behind the idea that players return just to play the Lakers. And there was actual evidence to show that it is a thing that really does happen. So far, it really hasn't happened much this season, but now you know, AD planning on practicing on Wednesday. Friday, they play the Lakers. Saturday, you can play the Clippers. We all know what's happening. He's playing Friday against the Lakers, sitting Saturday against the Clippers.
What's the chance he does the opposite? What do you think? What's the chance?
0.0%. It's not happening. Especially add into this the context that Friday's game is an NBA Cup game. There's no chance. If he's healthy, the league will lose their mind if he doesn't play on Friday if he's healthy. So there's no chance that he does the opposite. He's playing against the Lakers. He's sitting against the Clippers.
So AD returned to LA, Dallas versus Luka, although it's not as special because it's in LA, but still, he probably really wants to go out there, and he's going to try to put on a show too. So,
you think AD is going to have the extra motivation if he's playing against the Lakers?
Oh yeah, for sure. Why not? It's some of that's like when with the players, like obviously he's not like not friends anymore with the guys on the team. He's still going to be friends with the guys, of course, but he may feel some type of way about getting traded, and he may want to come out there and kick the Lakers' butt, and he may want to come out there and kick Luka's butt just because, right? So I don't know. I think he'll be competitive. He normally like AD sometimes has motor things, but when he gets up, he gets up.
That's true. That first game he ever played for the Mavs, he was awesome. That was maybe the best Anthony Davis we'd ever seen, aside from like the 2020 playoff Anthony Davis. He was amazing.
Yeah. When he is motivated, he's a monster, man. He obviously has to be healthy, but when he sometimes, like I said, you'll get that low energy, low effort AD game. But I mean, his floor is
not happening Friday.
Yeah, his floor can be kind of low, but that's not happening against the Lakers, I don't think.
No. And the Lakers, by the way, DeAndre Ayton dealing with a knee contusion. He's going to miss tonight's game. The next game they play is Friday. We don't know if Ayton will even be available. So this could be Anthony Davis going at Jackson Hayes, I suppose. I mean, sometimes the Mavs run too. I mean, the Mavs run a couple of bigs, so it could be Anthony Davis against Rui. But here's the really juicy one: AD against LeBron.
Oh my God! He's going to try it too. He's going
to try it.
That's his guy too. His favorite player growing up. All that. He's going to do it though. But that's where like this stuff's fun though.
Am I crazy to not hate that matchup for the Lakers?
I mean, it is what it is. He's going to get his 30 points regardless if he's motivated, right? So.
Sure. I mean, AD could score. AD can absolutely score on LeBron, but I don't think I also could see LeBron taking the challenge and being ultra physical with AD too.
LeBron will also take that challenge. LeBron is also one of those guys that sometimes has like a very low motor. I understand because he's old, but every time over the years, whenever he matched up with like a marquee young guy like a Zion or like a Luka, he would always get up for those games. Whenever he also got isolated, LeBron was the best isolation defender in the NBA last season. Because he gets up. He does not like to be targeted. And so if you're trying to post him up, he's going to wake up for that. And it's his guy AD, obviously. I don't know that he was all too happy about that trade either. So he's going to absolutely take that challenge, right?
Yeah. I agree. I think we could see a really good one coming up on Friday. It'll be an NBA Cup game. Hopefully the Lakers not playing for anything because they can clinch their group if they beat the Clippers tonight. So possible the Lakers don't have, it would still count as a regular season game, but possible it's not really cup related for the Lakers, but could still be for the Mavericks. But in any event, Lakers fans rolling their eyes. Anthony Davis getting set to return on Friday, just in time to play the Lakers. Has missed the last, I believe it's 14 games now for the Mavs, but will return to play against the Los Angeles Lakers. That seems to be set. It's just book it. AD is going to play. on Friday. We do need to talk, though, about another Mavs big. This whole team was built by the departed now Nico Harrison, who was fired earlier this season, built to be big, strong defensive group, much bigger and more physical than anybody else in the NBA. That was the goal for this team. Well, they're going to be missing some of that size for the long haul here in Dereck Lively. We're going to get into what that's going to mean in just a moment. But first, quick shout out to our sponsor, and that is Sleeper. Made a few picks for tonight's games. I went ahead and took the Luka free square because, of course, why not? He's having a phenomenal season, except for maybe the three-point shooting. Ivica Zubac, I've got him over 13.5 rebounds because of no DeAndre Ayton for the Lakers. And then I went with Austin Reeves, going with his PRA. I think eventually those threes are going to fall, and he's been doing real work on the boards lately as well. So 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I've got Austin Reeves clearing that. If you guys want to play, you can use the link in the description down below. Use our code Bulletin. Check him out. Sleeper does a phenomenal job. You get 100% match up to $100 when you do use that code Bulletin. Again, go check out Sleeper. Super helpful for us when they know that you came from us. And we always appreciate it when you support our sponsors, especially when it's our presenting sponsor in Sleeper. All right, Donnie, unfortunate news for the Dallas Mavericks. They've dealt with so many injury issues. Kyrie Irving still out of action right now. But now we get word that Dereck Lively is dealing with swelling and discomfort in his right foot. It is going to be an extended absence, according to Mark Stein, who is tuned into all things Mavericks. It appeared to be an extended injury absence for Lively, swelling and discomfort in his right foot. This is coming after offseason foot surgery. He's only played in 7 of the team's 19 games so far, and the Mavs have also revealed that they're not going to give an update on Lively for 7 to 10 days. So that doesn't mean he's back in 7 to 10 days. That means the Mavs are going to provide another update on where he's at in 7 to 10 days. That Lively's going to be out for a while is the bottom line here. This is all kinds of bad news for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, it's such a shame, too, because Lively is one of the best rim protectors, defensive bigs in the NBA, statistically. And he's also very young. He's only 21 years old. So he's like obviously a guy that can be a part of their core for a very long time here. But the reality is the thing about him is that he's never been healthy, right? He played 36 games last season, 55 the year before that. Like he's only played 7, like you were saying, so far this season. And obviously he could rebound. The season still has a long way to go for this season specifically, but he's always dealing with something. So you hate to see him be in a situation where he has another nagging injury, but it's just very unfortunate for him that he's always dealing with these things.
Yeah, and he's a very talented player, very good player. He's definitely helped out the Mavs quite a bit, but is not going to be available for a while here. And he's a big piece to their defense. Now, when we look at the Mavs and their potential moves, and we've talked a lot about the Dallas Mavericks making trades, Anthony Davis himself could wind up being on the trade front. Klay Thompson could be on the trade. How about Klay to Memphis? Can we do that? Can we team up Klay Thompson with John Morant?
You know what? You're actually low key a villain. I think you're a villain. You want to see the world burn, low key.
Oh, it wouldn't be so much fun for the Grizzlies to deal with, but that would be so much fun for everybody else. Can we get Klay Thompson to the Grizzlies? But I do think the Mavs, they're going to explore trading Klay. They're going to explore trading Anthony Davis. They will reportedly even explore trading like D'Angelo Russell and so anybody else who is up there in years on their team. They're going to look at potentially moving. That said, if Dereck Lively is out, Daniel Gafford is a name that's been on the trade market. The Mavs specifically gave him a deal right up to the limit of what they could give him and still maintain his trade eligibility for the season. Obviously, they did that for a reason. With this Dereck Lively news, does that change the Mavs' thoughts on trading Daniel Gafford?
If I'm being honest with you, I think they have one too many bigs anyway. So, well, to be fair, if they're going to trade AD, then the rest of it kind of doesn't really matter. You're going to be retooling, rebuilding anyway. So I don't know, kind of up in the air about that one.
I think if the goal is to bottom out this year and rebuild around Cooper Flag, if that is now the new path forward for the Mavs, and right now the Mavs are the 14th seed in the West. They're 5-14 on the season, though. So if we want to look at the league standings, what that means for Dallas in terms of if the draft were happening right now and everything stayed chalk, they would actually, despite how bad they've been, they would have the 6th pick in the draft. So it's not even like they would have a top 5 pick or anything right now, because there've been a lot of teams that have really struggled this year. But let's say you do go down that path. If you're the Dallas Mavericks and you say, we want to rebuild around Cooper Flag, I think Daniel Gafford is right there on that edge, right? He's 27 years old, just turned 27. He's a guy where you could look at, he's kind of like Lauri Markkanen with the Utah Jazz, where you can say, well, maybe he can be part of like the next iteration once we get good again. But if the right deal is there, they should be willing to move on from him. But if he was 25, he was 24, we're going, oh, no, just keep him. 27, he's like right there on that line, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. The Mavs are actually really interesting because they've got basically 1 foot already in, and they've already got a top prospect, like an absolute guy with a world of potential. He's 18 years old, dude. They have such a long runway with Cooper. And they've already got that piece. Organizations typically tank first and then try to get that piece. And if you're the Kings, you very rarely get that guy, and maybe you do, and you get him in Hallie and you trade him. But you don't get those guys very often.
You just pick Marvin Bagley over him,
or you pick the wrong player. Absolutely. But they had such a surefire answer. I don't think there was any way they could have messed up, maybe even choosing a few of the top guys in this year's draft, but absolutely taking Cooper. And you think about it, they've got other pieces that are on that edge, like, Gafford, like PJ. They've got some other guys that they like a lot, like Max Christie. I think if they get another young guy in there, they said they're projected to be the 5 pick. If they could get a top 5 pick, they may be looking at a very quick retool that just takes them a couple years, I think, and then they're back into being competitive. And I think the most telling thing about that is that they're already a top end defense. They are one of the top 2 or 3 defenses last I checked in terms of just defensive efficiency and all that stuff in the NBA, which is a very good marker for, I think, at least that side of the court and these younger guys, because they've had guys in and out, but they've had some constants and they've been able to be good. If they're able to get even some decent offense in there and just turn into like a top 17 offense, they could be a really plucky team. And we kind of dug into it a little bit earlier. They have a 4-10 record in clutch time. Basically, Nico's vision of defense, he got half the equation, but he just completely ignored the offense and basically has this team trying to win 90 to 85 games, but they're losing all those games. So
are you saying Nico was right?
No. Don't ever, because no matter what you say, he should have never pulled that trade, man. Nico's the only person in the world that pulls that trade.
This is like the Thanos is right stuff that we saw in the MCU.
Oh yeah.
But look at this. Look at the Mavs. They're the second best defense in the NBA. But look at the gap between the Mavs and the Thunder. That's how much the Thunder have lapped everyone else.
Yeah,
look at that.
Insane.
The Mavs defensive rating is 110, and it's the second best in the NBA.
The Thunder.
The Thunder at 103, 102.8.
No. You're saying the Mavs are the Thunder. Well, what it is, you need to flip to the other end.
Flip to offensive rating?
Don't do it.
The Thunder stay up there. There's the Mavs by themselves on the bottom. Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. So if you're Dallas now and you are willing to flip Daniel Gafford, remember, they don't have control of their picks after this year. This is the only year they have control of. So you could enter into a rebuild effectively and add. So yeah, you're right. They already have that guy, that talent that teams tank for. They locked out in the lottery this last year and they got him. It was part of Nico's vision, apparently, but they got him, right? They got Cooper Flag. Now they could potentially get another top pick. Let's say they get some lottery luck. Right now, if the draft were to happen today, they'd have the 6th pick. But if they get a little lottery luck, let's see if they do here, they could ultimately move. Oh no, they move back 2 spots in that simulation there.
You know what? They've got 3 number 1 picks in the city of Dallas between both of their basketball teams, and since the Luka trade, who's to say they don't get a 4th? Because why not?
They might. They stayed twice in a row. They stayed 8th. That time they moved in further. They keep falling.
No, this model doesn't have the vision. It doesn't have the vision.
It doesn't have Nico has vision. That's the problem. You need Nico's vision in order for the Mavs to move up. But the point is, though, you could take a really interesting young talent. Who knows? Maybe it's AJ DeBonsa. Maybe it's somebody like that, and you wind up putting that with Cooper Flag, and then you move forward. Like, that's got to be a somewhat attractive scenario. But the draft is an inexact science. You never know. Somebody may move up from 10 or 11 to 1. Like, crazy things do happen. But that would be the silver lining on the Mavs season. And if you're looking at, Dereck Lively being out, would you trade Daniel Gafford? Do you move AD? Do you move all these pieces? If you do, and you truly bottom this thing out, your future could actually be insanely bright around Cooper plus insert whatever player you pick up in this draft.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I said, like, I think that they're already halfway through a rebuild by getting a number one guy. Organizations don't typically get that. You got to think about it. A handful of teams tank every year, but only one of them. Oh, there it is.
There it
Nice.
is.
It only took 6 tries.
The Mavs with the number one pick yet again.
Yep.
God, the conspiracy theories would be running wild, but
I'm telling you, they get 4
happen.
number one picks between their basketball teams in 1 year or 2 years, I guess. That could be crazy, man.
That could be crazy. Could be crazy indeed.
Not the first guy, man. And again, they have such a long runway with him. I really hope. I understand, obviously, that the Luka trade does damage to the fan base, but I really hope that they appreciate Coop and love him. And I do think that they do. Obviously, they don't need to hear that from me, but they have such a long runway with him. And he's their guy. And I think if they build around him correctly, I think they could be very, very, very good for a long time here. Right.
Do you see this scenario also has 2 lottery picks going to OKC?
Oh my God. Did you see that they could get up to 3 lottery picks this summer? Oh my God.
That's why Utah's Utah has to fire up the tank. They have to finish 1 through 8 to keep that pick away from OKC.
Yes, never ends.
I'm glad the Lakers were able to help in that endeavor in 2 games.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, like obviously I'm not mad at the Thunder for having so much talent. Obviously, they did it the right way. You can't really hate that. It's just really interesting how every year they're going to be able to cycle in some of these guys, right? And even when you start wondering about, like, because a couple of years ago it was, oh, they're not going to be able to pay all these guys. Well, guess what? They're going to keep their stars and just rotate the guys around.
And they're going to trade guys. Like, once guys get too expensive, they're going to trade them away for more future picks, and they're just going to keep it
they're just going to keep it going. Like, if you're the Thunder, you've got a very clear vision for what you want to do. You can pay your 3 guys and then keep everybody else on lower tier salaries, and you could be extremely good for a very long time. And I think if you're any team, but if you're Dallas, that may be a way to look at it. So you maybe try to trade your guys, get back some assets, try to build something out here. And back to Gafford. Yeah, he's on the bubble. I don't know if he's a part of their next like big iteration a few years from now when they're really ready to go. But they have time to decide what to do with him. They don't have to decide now. And on Lively, he actually can be a part of that. He could be their center of the future, but he needs to get healthy. He needs to be able to stay healthy because he hasn't been able to do that for a few years now.
No, not as part of it. His NBA career health has not been on Lively's side. So the Dallas Mavericks, again, Dereck Lively out for a bit, at least 7 to 10 days till we get more word on him. And usually when it's, hey, we're going to tell you more in 7 or 10 days, that's not a good sign that he's coming back in that time. That means it's going to be longer. Frankly, I mean, we're almost into December as it is. Do we see him again in 2026? We'll get again an update. Or sorry, in 2025. Do we see him again before 2026? We'll get an update in the next week and a half or so on him. But sounds like he's going to miss some real time here. That's a tough blow for a Mavs team that's already had a tough season. But looks like Anthony Davis saw Lakers on the schedule. He did the full Kevin Nash meme, stands up out of the wheelchair, and he's going to return to play the purple and gold, his former club. Everybody give us your thoughts on that, as well as the Dereck Lively situation, what the Mavs should do here moving forward. Let us know in the comments down below. Till next time, everybody, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Help us out. See ya, and stay safe.